How much interest rate should a borrower be charged to take care of inflation if the cost of money is 18% per annum and the annual inflation rate is 7%? Meron nga tayong formula dito. Okay, ito siya. 1 plus I. Kapag involved po yung interest rate natin, tsaka inflation. 18% per annum and inflation rate natin is 7%. Galing lang din siya pala dito sa formula nga, diba? Sa lecture natin dati, may tinuro kaming ganito. P is 1 plus I raised to N. Pagka hindi kasama yung inflation. Pero pag isasali natin yung inflation rate, naglalagay lang tayo ng 1 plus F raised to N din. So, kukuhanin nyo lang to, yung portion na to. Yan. Okay, so inflation rate is 0.07. 1 plus I. How much interest rate should a borrower be charged? So, I yung hinahanap natin. Okay, ito I. Ang inflation rate naman is 7%. Okay, di ba kasi kapag na-observe nyo naman, kunwari, ang interest rate is, cite na lang ako na example. Kunwari, ang interest rate na in-offer sa'yo is 8%, parang ganyan. 8%, yan. Ayan Pero dahil sa inflation rate, mag-cite ako example, 8% kunwari. Tapos ang inflation rate niya is 7%, so parang ganyan. Parehong raised to N kunwari 1 year, raised to 1 year. Tingnan mo yung mangyayari sa 8%. Para lang mag-gets nyo po yung problem. 1.08 divided by 1.07. Tingnan mo, bumaba na siya. 0.009 na lang yung katumbas ng 8% na interest rate dahil sa inflation. Na nasusundan, instead na 1.08, imaginein mo, wala yung 1.07, di ang laki. 1.08 yung value niya, di ba? Pero dahil sa inflation rate, 1.009 na lang. Bumaba po siya. Naging 9. Halos wala pang 1% yan, 0.009 Para siyang 0.9%. Medyo mababa. Yun yung effect ng inflation rate. Ngayon, ganito po yung concept dyan. Ano yung interest rate? I. I yung hinahanap natin. I. Assume N is equal to 1 para mapadali yung solving. Galing lang yan dyan Assume N is equal to 1 tsaka P is equal to 1. Maguluhan. Yan. Ano yung interest rate na i-apply mo para yung cost ng money mo 18% pa rin? Kasi tingnan mo, kapag ang sagot mo dyan 18% din, ma'am, 18% din po, letter B. Mali may inflation rate try mo. Kung palitan ko to ng 18%, yung effect niya sa pera mo, ang binibigay niya lang na interest, 10.28%, hindi na siya 18%. 10.28 na lang, pinababa niya. Kaya ikaw, mag-adjust ka, taasan mo yung interest rate, yun yung hinahanap. Ano yung I? Okay? Ano yung I? Para yung value dito, 1 plus 18%. Again, balik ko dito. 1 plus 10.28% to Kaya 1.1028. Tama? So, gagawin natin hanggat maaari, magiging 1.18 to. Yan. Sana na-observe. Ito 10.28 lang siya Sana 18 pa rin. Yun yung sabi dito. How much interest should a borrower be charged to take care of inflation if the cost of money is 18%? Yan yun. Hanggat maaari, 18%. Saka mo i-shift solve. So, kung nag-gets niyo po yung explanation, I think kaya nyo naman na itong intindihin kung may lumabas ulit na din yung problem. Mas malaki yan sa 18%, ba? Pag i-shift solve natin. 1 plus alpha x, tapos dito is 18%, parang 1.18. Yan 26.26%. So, yun po yung value niya. 26.3%. So, letter D. Kaya pautakan lang yun Ibig mo yung inflation. So kung ang inflation rate 7%, taasan mo yung interest. Gawin mong 26.26% na para yung target mo na 18%, ma-attain mo pa rin. Diba? Hindi katulad ng, kunwari, hindi ka nag-adjust, 18% pa rin yung nilagay mo. Ang baba, yan o. 1.1028 na lang, hindi siya 1.10. Letter D po yung sagot. Next number, 16. What nominal interest rate compounded continuously is equivalent to an effective rate of 10% per annum? So, hindi, yung ER natin na formula, dalawa to 1 plus R over M raised to M minus 1. Diba ganyan lang yung simple formula ng effective rate. Pero dahil compounded continuously po siya, wala po tayong value ng M. Okay, ginagamit natin ito. For continuous compounding, E raised to R minus 1. So ito po yung dalawang formula ng effective rate. Ito is pag continuous. Ito naman is kapag may value ng M. Okay, so effective rate is 10%. ER. So E raised to unknown R minus 1. So shift solve natin yung R. So yun na lang, no? Shift solve nyo. Shift solve. R is 0.0953 or 9.53%. Letter A. Next, number 17. It is estimated that depositing 20,000 pesos every end of 6 months, every end of 6 months is same lang sa semi-annual. Kalahati ng isang taon, di ba? Semi means kalahati. Kalahati ng isang taon, 6 na buwan. Okay, in a sinking fund that gives an interest rate of 14% compounded semi-annually, will provide the money that could replace a machine at the end of 10 years. If the machine has no salvage value, what is the cost of replacement? Okay, so mag-iipon daw pala tayo. Tulog tayo ng 20,000 every semi-annual. So, annuity to. Kaya maglista ka ng AI tsaka N mo. So, A natin na semi-annual is R over M, which is 14%, yan no? 14% compounded semi-annually. 0.14 divided by semi-annual is M is equal to 2, diba? So, 0.07. Ang I natin, bakit napunta sa annuity to? Okay, sa I to, sa I. Yan. Ang A natin, semi-annually, given po siya 20,000. Yung I natin, semi-annual na rin siya, no? Divided by 2 kasi. Ngayon yung N, ang problema natin. At the end of 10 years. So, 10 years, so apply natin yung conversion factor or simple lang, kung anong dinivide mo, i-multiply mo lang din doon. Or conversion factor ka na isang taon is 2 semi-annual. Diba? So, we have 20 na semi-annuals. Ayan, once completed na po yan, apply mo na yung formula natin, yung Caltech. Remember, tinatanong dito is magkano ang cost of replacement. Kaya mo nga pinag-ipunan, di ba? Kasi balak mong bumili in the future. So, future value yung ating hinahanap. So, annuity, summation of 1 plus I, positive ang X kasi future ang value. So, unknown to, 20,000, 1.07, positive X. And then, pa-future po ang ating projection, kaya ang lower limit ay 0. Kakalimutan. Upper limit naman is n minus 1, so 19. Naturo na ito nung lecture. I hope nakuha nyo. 0 to n minus 1 ang limit po pa, future ang hinahanap. So let's try summation 1.07 alpha x baka naglagay ng parenthesis 0 to 19 81 9 ito meron letter C 819,910. So ito na yung pinag-ipunan mong pambili ng bagong machine. After 10 years mo nga lang mabibili ulit. Medyo may kamahalan. Kaya pinag-ipunan mo. Naipon-ipon hanggang dumating, naipon-ipon ng 20 na beses na hulog. Hanggang dumating yung 10 taon yan, nakabili ka na. Tayo. What do you call this factor? 1 over 1 plus I raised to n. 1 over 1 plus I raised to n is same lang yan sa 1 plus I raised to negative n. Diba? Diba pag negative ang exponent, tumaas kasi. From denominator, tumaas siya sa numerator, kaya naging negative yung exponent niya. Pag negative ang exponent, present word factor. Single payment, present word factor. Letter C. Bakit single payment? Single arrow lang yan. Uniform series, annuity na yung pinag-uusapan pag sinabing uniform. Isang, di ba, yung ginagamit natin itong wala namang summation na nakalagay. Ay, kung may summation yan, annuity. Pero 1 plus I raised to negative n lang. So, single payment lang yan. Kumbaga, single arrow. Ito yung arrow mo. Ipoproject mo pa present. Single payment lang. Future. Annuity naman na present word, yun nga, may summation lang sakali. Ito naman is sinking fund. Balan yung formula din. Inverse siya. Next, number 19. A self-employed engineer wants to get a lump sum of money when he retires at the end of 25 years. He then deposits a uniform amount every end of the year in a fund that gives an interest rate of 1% compounded annually. If the computed compound amount factor is equal to 54.8645, what is the value of I? Computed compound amount factor. Lahat ng nasa formula, multiplier po yun or factor. Diba ito future value ba? Ayan wants to get a lump sum of money when he retires at the end of 25 years. The future. I-withdraw niya or marireceive niya yung money in the future. Tama? And ano yung marireceive niyang pera? Siyempre, galing sa inipon niya taon-taon. Annuity ito, di ba? Kaya ito yung gagamitin ng formula hanggat maaari, yung positive ang x. Ito yung ibig ko pong sabihin. Pag sinabi kasi yung mga factor na yan, yung mga factor, ito yun, multiplier lang sa formula. Yan. Yan yung compound amount factor. Uniform series nga lang. Compound amount factor. Kaya may tawag yung mga yan sa formula. Parang ito, itong sinundan nating problem. Diba ito, uniform series present word factor? Meron din yan, letter E. Uniform series compound amount factor naman. Yun naman is 1 plus I positive x. Negative x pag present, positive x naman pag future. Galing lang sa mga formula to, may tawag lang kasi sa mga yan. Doon sa formula natin. Factor yung mga yan. Okay, so yun yung gagamitin natin dito. So yung summation of 1 plus I positive x is equal daw sa 54.8645. Paano natin ito kukunin? Ano kaya? Trial and error? Pwede ba? Trial and error. Ang A natin, ang N natin, sige, try natin siguro trial and error. So, palabasin natin yung 54.8645. Ito. Summation of 1 plus unknown yung I, positive yung X, ano yung limit? N mo is 25 years. Future po yung pinag-uusapan. Future. So, ang lower limit ay 0. Upper limit ay 24. N minus 1. Susundan. Yan, trial and error nyo na sa choices. Try natin. Calculate. Yan. Type natin yung left side lang, papalabasin natin yung 54.8645. Okay, summation 1.056, try natin letter A. 0 to 24. Okay, malayo. 51 yung multiplier niya. How about 58? Malayo din. 6.2. Try natin. Sumobra. Baka letter D na yung sagot. 6%. Try natin 6%. Ayun, lumabas na yung sagot. Letter D. Ang correct answer. Try nyo lang Yan. So, lumabas po siya. Correct. Equal na. Which is 54.8645. Letter D yung pipili. And so, I hope nasundan. Yun lang siguro, nagkakamali karamihan po yung limit. Pag future yung projection, F yung formula na ginagamit. Lower limit is 0. Tapos upper limit is n minus 1. Pero pag present ang sinusolve mo, present yung formula, 1 to n ang limit naman. Lower limit is 1, upper limit po ay n. Again, kung hindi pa rin po sanay sa paggamit ng ganyan, Caltech sa annuity, mag-formula based na lang kayo yung medyo mahaba na formula. Okay lang din na. Kung saan kayo nasanay, yun gamitin nyo. Okay, number 20. Ryan invests 5,000 at the end of each year in an account which gives a nominal annual interest of 7.5% compounded continuously. Determine the total worth of his investment at the end of 15 years. So ito, annuity ulit to, di ba? So pagka-annuity, bakit annuity? At the end of each year. So maramihang bayaran yan, taon-taon. So ang A natin, yearly. So 5,000 daw ang binabayaran. So, ang I natin dapat yearly din. And even yung N, dapat number of years. So, dapat pare-pares yan bago mo i-plug in sa formula. Kung yearly, ang masusunod yung A. Kung ano yung mode of payment sa A, magpa-follow na yung I tsaka N. Kung yearly rin dapat yung I. Yung N mo, number of years din. Okay? So, I natin, yearly ba? I think mali, no? 7.5% continuously po, hindi siya yearly. So, gagawin natin yung yearly using yung formula natin ng effective rate. Remember, yung effective rate natin na formula na to, A raised to R minus 1. At ito yung ginamit natin formula, continuously kasi itong 7.5%. At tatandaan na yung AR formula, matik po yan na naka-annual or yearly. Okay, so yan yung kailangan natin value. A raised to 0.075 minus 1. So, ilan kaya ito? I-convert lang natin 7.5%. Ilan siya kapag yearly? Ilan nga ba siya pag yearly? 0.07788. Okay, yan yung equivalent value niya kapag yearly. And then, ang N natin, number of years, yung tugma na, 15 years. So, no need to convert. Highlight ko lang para makita mo. Pare-parehas na. So, once okay na yung tatlo, gamitin na po yung formula. So, determine the total worth of its investment at the end of 15 years. So, future value. Tama? Magkano yung naipon-ipon niyang pera na inihulog taon-taon. Positive X. So, this is 5,000. Summation of 1.075. Positive ang 1.075. 1.07788. Positive X. Limit natin, lower limit 0. Upper limit is n minus 1. So, 0 to 14. Ito. 5,000 summation alpha x 0 to 14. Ayan. 133,541. Okay, piliin po natin yung pinakamalapit letter P. 133,541. Approximately letter B. Sagot natin. Okay. Bali, hindi po natin matatapos, no? Pipicturean nyo na lang. 21. A boy is entitled to 10 yearly endowments of 30,000 each starting at the end of the 11th year from now. Using an interest rate of 8% compounded annually, what is the value of this endowment now? Okay, now so now means at present or year 0 siya. Ayan yung target natin. And take note dito kailan nagsimula yung 30,000 at the 11th year. So kung ito yung ating cash flow, yan, at year 11, yan, dito pa lang magsisimulang magre-receive siya ng 30,000. At ang bilang po niyan, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 10. Okay, so saan siya magtatapos? Year 20, no? Year 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Year 20, matatapos. Okay. 10 kasi. 10 na beses siyang makaka-receive ng 30,000. So, lahat yan, 30,000. Ngayon, ipoproject natin yan sa year 0. Yan. Project natin to sa year 0, which is madali lang. Basta pa-present po yung projection, no, mas madali. Kaya I-encourage na i-master yung pag-project at present. Kasi at year 0 lang yon. At year 0, annuity, summation, 1 plus I, negative ang X. Nga pala, manglista ka lagi. Ang A natin, yearly, tama, 30,000. Ang I natin, dapat yearly din. Check natin, yearly ba to? Yes. 8% compounded annually or yearly. So, sulat mo na agad. Ang N naman, number of years, so 10 na beses. 10 years, kumbaga. Okay, so ilan ang equivalent present value neto? 1.08 negative X. Limit is from, present yung formula. Lower limit po ay 1. Upper limit naman ay N. So, magkaiba sila ng future value, 1 to N pag present ang projection. So, 1, summation, negative X, tapos 1 to 10. Yan. So, 201,302. Ito natin. 30,000 each starting at the end of the 11th year. Sorry. Year limit ko, mali. Hindi ko naman natitignan yung cash flow. Nag-start po sa 11 papuntang 20. Yun yung ating lower limit to upper limit. Yung sinabi ko na 1 to 10, kapag ka nagsimula siya sa year 1, syempre, at nagtapos sa year 10, I thought yun yung araw, hindi pala. Yan kasi nasanay tayo yun bang wala kang in-skip. Deferred annuity kasi yung tawag dito. Yung may in-skip ka na 10 years. Deferred annuity yan. Pero pag wala kang in-skip, ordinary annuity yun. Yun yung ang limit niya, 1 to 10. Okay, so this is a deferred annuity. Kaya pag deferred yung annuity, mga engineers, no, I encourage na gamitin nyo po is yung Caltech na formula. Wag yung formula na yung mahaba, lalo pag hindi nyo po sanay. Kasi pag Caltech yan, tingnan mo, kahit pa deferred yung annuity, i-check mo lang naman saan nagsimula at nagtapos yung araw. Yun na yung lower at upper limit. 11 to 20 po siya. Edit ko lang yung aking limit dito. 11 to 20. And so equivalent is 93,241.98. So letter A. Next number, 22. An engineer is entitled to receive 25,000 at the beginning of each year for 18 years. If the rate of interest is 4% compounded annually, what is the sum of this annuity at the end of 18 year? Future value, no? What is the sum of the annuity at the end of 18 year? And future value yung ating hinahanap. At isa pa na tricky dito sa problem, sabi po at the beginning. So this is a annuity due. Maraming klase ng annuity. Parang yung kanina, deferred annuity yun. Ordinary annuity. May annuity due rin. Yan yung at the beginning. Okay. So lista tayo ng A natin, I tsaka N. Ano ba yung A? 25,000 each year. So ang A natin is yearly. 25,000. So ang I natin dapat yearly din. Given na siya ng 4% yan, annually or yearly. Yan. And lastly, yung N, 18 years. Okay, pag annuity due yung problem, yung bang merong at the beginning of each period, na-explain na to nung lecture niyo po ng Econ, yung formula natin na to, yan, di ba? Yan yung ginagamit natin kanina pa. Ito ay para sa ordinary annuity. Yung wala kang i-skip na taon, tapos at the end yung bayaran. Pero pag annuity due na siya, meron siyang at the beginning. Kung napansin niyo yun, nabanggit na rin naman sa lecture. Laging binabanggit ito at the end. And ordinary annuity kasi ang mga yan. Yun bang papatapusin mo muna yung period bago ka magbayad. Pero pag sinabing at the beginning, bayad agad. Hindi pa nagsisimula yung buwan, kumbaga bayad agad. Annuity due po yan. So dadagdagan mo lang dito sa dulo ng 1 plus I. Ayun, then substitute mo na. So, 25,000, 1.04, positive x. Limit natin, future value siya, 0 to n minus 1, diba? So, 0 to 17, then dito is 1.04. Then type mo na sa calculus. 25,000, summation. Yan, saka mo lagyan ng limit. Sa labas yung yung 1.04 ulit. Yan, sa labas to, 1.04. So, value 666,781. Letter B.